No, and so it's on behalf of the Tsangpa House that the lamas have come here, and so the first portion of today's event will be to confer the White Tara long life blessing, initiation blessing, and the purpose of this is to remove obstacles to a person's health, to remove general obstacles, and to help us all to be able to live a healthy and spiritually successful life. So this is a prayer. This is a wish of the Tsangpa House monks in general, and the reason why they have chosen this particular ceremony. So the Lama who is going to confer the blessing is Kyabje Shiri Chusang Rinpoche. He is also from the Tsangpa House. He's one of the senior lamas from that part of the Chusang Monastery, and he has been here since Tibetan New Year's, essentially, around the time of Tibetan New Year's, which is now a month or so over. And they had some activities in New York City. They organized some traditional Tibetan New Year's prayers and celebrations. And they were doing this for the general benefit of the people, but also with the main aim of representing the Tsangpa House. The monastery where Tsangpa House is located in South India has been there for quite some time, now maybe 50 years or so, 40 years I guess, 40, something like that. And they've had, they started out very small, and they've grown in size, and so they are here on behalf of a fundraising effort to help to expand and try to restore the main temple, the main hall, which is used by their house. So they would like you to understand this goal that they have, and if anyone wished to make some donation, whatever donations you make would be going to that purpose. And so that's what we wanted to let you know before we start.
Tabe de Jatawa Yura giving a sort of energy, Jigger, Joguba, Lava, the Lord of the nation, Hamayan, Gindu, Tiwaji, Mijaji, Yawa, Dini Sanji, the Maya, Kamara, Mamina, Yumasiva, Churro, Yuji Chunum de Tarata, Sunam Di, Tamje Sivaye, Komato, Yungi, Tatil de Kanana, Sibe, Sode, Rowan. Yune, Winji, Shigura, Sushi, Temba, Langi, Lebaratone, Beba, Tumai, Kuba, Simbu, Temba, Shinjelo, Leji, Nebe, Tave, Telani, Shindo, Neva, Shishi. Inze Gundo, Nimbo, Lebelo, Ninja, Meva, Jewa, Jinjelo, Soyo, Chui, Chukurashi, Yudo, Jibe, Chiva, Temba, Shive, Jesu, Luda, Temashi, Kana, Lende, Chishi, Tawala, Nema, Tembo, Yune, Tashi Lhunpo Yeso Tata Drupara Jevala Tato Padan Tema Jinjelo Jebe Mihun Tunga Kunji Ko Yide Miro Sibe Nime Rinne Tarbe Jewala Dunye Chemo Jewa Jinjelo Nanda Samati Changwa Tena Paye Chembo Ye Neme Zawa Sosara Tavala Drupa Nimbo Jewa Jinjelo Yanyi Siso Lowa Chishinda Mayuru Drowa Kunja Tejawa Tone Drowa Jebe Kunji Jovara Jinji Lo Simsang Jija Suri Temba Tabe Lobara Jinji Lo Lobe Yula Yawa Shiji Yamba Sushin Yudo Yula Yavara Jinji Lo Temba Lanja Ludo Yuma Temba Kunji Chogyo Jovara Jinji Lo Deze Mojo Nami Drubi Shin Namda Tamde Tambara Suwa Jema Bine Nyavani Soda Dede Sovara Jinji Lo Dede Dede Nimbo Rini Nenam Chishin Tone Tembai Tishin Nijo Chile Miyewa Tabe Sushin Jovara Jinji Lo Dana San Debe Shinji Sushin Jube Chona Shadenji Chida Nagi Bodo Jube Yawa Shiwa Jinji Lo Yawa Kundo Yanda Wana Debe Chigi Pela Sama Lamji Yune Razo Nendo Jecha Yorodo Yuze Jera Silo Chazo Jero Jebe Naya Nabo Chembo Dagi Shanda Charu Jinji Namaki Yawa Chuko Tamadu Tamadu Netabu Yamato Matani Nishawa Suni Chiwa Trabeshini Chiwa Namarate Sefron Charu Urakitu Tewa Sindurai Lebra Chu Chiwa Mini Nivenya Namne Raza Miko Mashi Doje Vijay Namai Kula Chine Chane Tama Lendebe Anjali Demoni Wokubana Mani Wokubana Ajatalo Iye Matito Nishuwana June Debe Uju Mare Vakende Nala Telo Wadante Malunde Yevara Luji Sume Chusang Chana Manjala Kadiriya Sanyi Chudang Soji Shonama Changju Pardo Dani Nagi Chujin Yibi Sonam Yinjola Benji Sanyi Chubara Sanyi Chudang Soji Shonama Changju Pardo Kepsuji Nagi Chujin Yibi Sonam Yinjola Sanyi Chubara Sanyi Chudang Soji Shonama Changju Pardo Dani Nagi Chujin Yibi Sonam Yinjola Benji Sanyi Chubara Hada Mimi Nami Ji Yamamada Yamina Yunjuna Jawa Jebana Sanji Zubaru Doshi Devin Juru Yoba de la Shi Dame Juni Jini de Shi Allah Dadi Chiki to Ani Palden Dawa Jabe Ani Oman Jube Kapsu Kanze Rawan Jujin Tuneba Kalde Dida Zimbra Mijina Yansar Lungwe Shawan Jugiruba Dele Chine Kangi Longwa Yurus Sumana Shi Dada Garazu Daji 소소라 라와이베 갑 데니지 가메 데니지 담베쇼 넘버다고스 담베쇼네 림몽보 요르 아리 현다현의 머징바이네 소소라니 그 된지보 많이 마제네 심지 셴네 펜보 좀 도배하게 된데 되서디 쉬서서 마다마 셴네 데니 아니 미ele 셴네 펜바 셴야다 되게 버도바이나 아니 나 아니 제마다 지금 세 10만이야 되네 계속 문남에베 양서로 송 차소나 아니 데니지 갈아 가보시다래 대인주산에 아니 담be Taji Josabe Ludin Tobe Kabdelia, Tabi Chuda Shena Bamba Shego, the Kachimores, somebody in Duzan Shena Bamba Shabana, Serum Bujo over the teacher to someone to spear ins.
So, before the mandala offering, Rinpoche said that the ritual has two main parts, the preliminary part and the main
preliminary of the Lama, the teacher, as well as for the disciples.
So in preparing for the ceremony, then the Lama himself has various
self-initiation.
Various activities which he has to do. He has to generate himself in deity form, then he has to invite the deity and make offerings and bring the deity here for the blessing, and then also has to prepare that involves the special long life dharma, which is generated in the form of a white dara. This form of white dara is called wish granting wheel, long life wheel, and then, in addition to the long life dharma, which is the main element of the ritual itself, then there also is holy nectar, which has to be blessed, and then there are some like elixir or medicine pills, and all of these things have been prepared beforehand. Those are preliminaries which the master has to carry out. Then there also are preliminaries for the disciples who are receiving the blessing. And the text mentioned mainly you should bathe yourself before coming, and then when you enter the Dharma hall you should make prostrations and then seat yourself in a proper manner, and then finally make the so-called mandala offering, which is a symbolic offering of all the riches in the world as an offering to the Lama to request the blessing. Then that part has all been carried out. Then following the mandala offering, then Rinpoche said, he quoted a verse from Chandrakirti's Madhyamika Avatara, I think it's a chapter on morality, where it's just saying that morality is the main cause for us to be reborn as a human being. Then this human being life is rare and very special opportunity, which we must make use of. We must derive value from it, because it gives us the ability to do that. So if we don't make the best use of our human life, this one time that we have been able to obtain it, and we waste it, and then at the end of this life we are reborn once again in the lower realms, then we will be in a state of great despair and helplessness, and there was nothing at that point which we can do except experience that suffering and not accomplish anything of value. So the main purpose of this ceremony is for us to think of our lives as something very rare and something very valuable, and that we must make the best use of, in a spiritual sense, that we can with what we have remaining in our life, what opportunity still remains for us. So then among the various types of Dharma, then the Dharma, highest form of Dharma, Mahayana Dharma, is one in which the individual should be not only concerned about himself or herself, but also developing the ability to be able to help others in the highest sense possible, and to achieve an ability to be able to do that. So the purpose of this ritual is to make our lives strong and healthy, to enable us to fulfill that aim.
아니 지금 세 라이 해버리지 아니 지금 저거 이신이 걸로 아니 세바면서 서바 된데 지금 땡고 이래잖아 아니 지다 아니 지금 나 지금 저 마세데 가르스는 상제 탐지게 아니 틸레게랑 소탈을 샤다바 되지 레스.
So then given that our main concern, our main aspiration is to derive some essence, derive some value from this human life, then the way in which to go about doing that is to be able to come in contact with a path which is complete in its form, that has every aspect of what one needs to learn, and which is completely unerring. Then if we have the opportunity to find such a source of spiritual development, then we must begin the process of learning, listening to the teaching, studying the teaching, and then meditating or reflecting on the teaching, and then finally developing higher realization by practicing one-pointed meditation. Then these are ways to develop our three types of wisdom, and this is in essence what our spiritual efforts should be seeking to do. So the purpose of this ritual, the blessing to remove obstacles to your life, your health, is to enable you to be able to pursue that aim in the most effective way possible. Then the ritual is based on exalted divine Tara, female Buddha. Then her nature is that she embodies all the ability to carry out enlightened activities, and that is her main characteristic. And so that quality is being is the main inspiration, which gives this ritual, its special blessing. So then in terms of the historical tradition, the lineage, from which this long life blessing system comes. Among the earliest then lineage holders in Tibet is the famous disciple of Atisha, the lay disciple Drom Temba. Actually, he was prophesied to Atisha by Tara that when Atisha came to Tibet, then he would find such a holy disciple, and that would be special reason for Atisha even to come to Tibet. So then also to Dromtumba himself, then Tara appeared and said to him directly that she would watch over him and bless him. Then also the great Indian master Wakishwara Kirti, then he is one of the main early masters in this tradition, and the blessing continuum then traces itself back to him.
Lama doji denpa ki sen, jizun drama rangi menga de sung, lama doji denpa ki sen, dene drupdab du chabya mangbu kasum ze, dene maa je lama dene bari lo zaba ki sen, drupdab mangbu je pyo le ya gyur. Dene lama le na ba ta, dene ki sen, drupdab lo chuk ze de she wu sung sung ba ta, se ba ta, dene ani nyame dhoar mu chi se ya ro ba ta, dene jik mangbu ta ngema, ta kana mangbu chi yor se ngema ta lo gyu to ne.
So these are there are other members of the lineage masters of this tradition. There's one of the first ones called Dorje Demba, Lama Dorje Demba. Dorje Den is the name of the place where Buddha achieved enlightenment. So perhaps he was someone who was associated with that location, and so he was then referred to as the Lama from Dorje Den. Then he also heard these instructions and then received unique blessings that have this ability to remove the obstacles to our life. And so he also he composed then what are called sadhanas, which are practice rituals that are, the masters who are the holders of this lineage then have to practice in order to receive the Tara's blessing and be able to preserve this lineage. Then also a very well-known Tibetan translator, Barilo Tsawa, he also translated many of these special sadhana texts for practicing especially Tara's path system. Similarly, there are other masters in Tibet, Lama Lenakpa in particular is named, and then Jervad Rinpoche. They also practiced this path and have received visions of Tara, received instructions and blessings directly from her, and so these are the the historical figures from whom this blessing lineage originated.
다배 줘 양고지 제 모두 왜이나 아니 나지 득사 말에 삼네 하장이 내중 내중 있게네 로직 다 투범 가서 투버 내가 지기 다배 가서 첼랑만 가려 내가 돼 최샤마지 지기 인이 삼는 로바나 도스나 말했어.
And one of these lineage masters in particular was named Jervad Rinpoche. He was a practitioner and a learned Buddhist master in his own right. Then he happened to encounter like in the West we would call him a fortune teller. I think he's read palms, and this person met the Lama and read his palm, and said that he was a person of importance to the Dharma. That there were many activities that remained for him that he should try to be able to accomplish in his life. But it seemed that there were obstacles to his ability to live a long life. And so then this became particular motivation for him to seek practices that would enable him to extend his life. And then later, he did in fact receive this instruction, and it was able to remove some his obstacles and So in the manual for this blessing ritual, it describes that this Lama Drapa Rinpoche then, out of concern for this risk to his life, then he visited to a Lama Linakpadare.
No.
He came to central Tibet.
Yep.
And then, and while he was traveling there, then he met this Lama Linakpa, who was someone who possessed the instructions for blessing one's life. And when this Drapa Rinpoche told him his story, then the Lama told him, Lama Linakpa told him that he had a special path, a special method, which could remove his obstacles. And
so you don't need to worry.
And so this is how he came to be receive this instruction, and then he was in fact able to remove his obstacles. So this particular Lama who was facing the prospect of dying within a very short period of time, after he received this instruction, then he went into meditation and
several times
practiced during the first beginning of the practice. Even after just 1 month, then he had a direct vision of Tara, and she prophesied that he would be able to live until he was 60, and then so because of that, then he would be able to carry out many activities that would be beneficial to sentient beings. So then he continued with his spiritual life, and when he reached the age of 60, and then he thought that this was going to be he wasn't going to live longer than that, then again he made special prayers to Tara, the Blessed One, and then she appeared to him and told him, if you commission an image of Tara, of me, then you'll be able to live another 11 years. So he did that, and then it was a painting. He commissioned a painting of Tara, And then when he reached the age of 70, again 10 years was his life was extended. Then he again prayed to Tara, and so she told him, if you commission another image, if you have another image made of me, then you'll be able to live another 10 years. And so this went on like this for some time. So then, in this way, he was able to live up to an age of 95 years. So there are many other stories of the lineage masters. Another one is Gyalwa Gindun Drup, who is the Lama who is recognized as the first in the line of the Dalai Lamas. He is one of the lineage masters of this tradition. And then, so there are unique accounts of blessings that he also received through practicing this unique instruction.
Someone dig you but day and you walk in the Truman, so but the Paramaj then you should say, then we gave you the Gypsy and the teaching Doshan, the General Chicoto Command, Gypsy on the teaching Doshan, Kodo Command, and then we know that someone on it was top day of the day in Duzane, and it's that she loved and it's a mania, but she gave it to Queens, they in Duzaneta. So I need that the Diki new by Yamate Yina, Tabichu, Chilab down, and Kyabje Lama Namji, Dangwa and Kyabje Lama Namji, Chilab Tolatene, Janzogi, the Tawan, the Dense, Rangi Seke Pajeshia, and some discussion to do together, the Regi, and the Samatani, the Judean, this year, Gendusia, Gendusia waters.
So this lineage of realized masters has continued unbroken down to the present day, and Rinpoche himself received blessings and instructions from the former so-called junior tutor Chijang Dorje Chang, and as well as His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama both. So he possesses, the lineage blessings, and while he does not consider himself to be a person of any great knowledge or abilities, nevertheless, he feels confident that because of the blessings which the lineage maintains, then those of you who have come here for this ceremony, the main purpose of which is to remove obstacles to your health and long life, that in fact you will receive some benefit from it. So you should have that idea then in your mind. So this is kind of introduction to the background of this, the sort of historical record of this tradition. And then with that, now we will begin with the ritual itself. The ritual itself mainly involves then listening to the explanations which the Lama will present to you, and the listening is something which you have to carefully do, because what he says is telling you what you have to do in your own mind. You have to visualize, and you have to repeat various recitation texts for taking bodhisattva vows and the like, and then beyond that, during the different stages of the ritual, there are a whole series of visualizations. So please do your best to follow carefully, and that way you will get the greatest amount of blessing possible. So then the first thing before, as the kind of beginning first act, is to formally make a request, a supplication to the Lama pleased to give you the long life blessing. So this will be a verse recited in Tibetan. Then the meaning is, O glorious Lama, whose essence is that of all the Buddhas of the 3 times, please confer upon me the profound long life consecration of the wish-granting wheel, Chintamani Chakratara.
Dusum Sangye,
Dusum Sangye,
Tamjegi,
Tamjeki,
Ngo Balde,
Ngo Pende,
Lamai,
Lamai,
Dala Seba,
Dala Seva,
Megunji,
Megunki,
Wanguru Samo,
Wangmunkar,
Zeldosul,
Zeduso,
Dusum Sangye,
Dusum Sangye,
Tamjegi,
Tamjeki,
Ngo Balde,
Ngo Pende,
Lamai,
Lamai,
Dala Seba,
Dala Seva,
Megunji,
Megunji,
Wanguru Samo,
Umu Sambo,
Zeldosul,
Zeduso,
Dusum Sangye,
Dusum Sangye,
Tamjegi,
Tamjeki,
Ngo Balde,
Ngo Pende,
Lamai,
Lamai,
Dala Yishin,
Dala Yishin,
Holoi,
Korloi,
Sewa Samo,
Sewan Samo,
Zeldosul.
Zeduso.
되게 책도 뭐죠? 예신이시고. 다 디제리아 덕 삼아 가르다고 그랬습니다. 뭐 가게 심지에 탐제다 간다. 마기르 심지에 탐제다 간다. 소소하게 전진제다네 마샤다 이시다 세디기 소소 마마제바 이네야 되네. 지금 사람 요만 남소 아니 지다다 파다 마 니가 다 좋은 거 봐. 이네 개셰슈디다 심지 알아주기다 전문이 오나래 이네 이제 마드 40부 세대가 왔네. 인도산에 가게지 심지 대다 탐지지 소소라니 이게 아니지 다 여러분 사람 야만 남서 마마제는데 요 말에 아니 근데 인도산에 마세대 간데 진심 뭐야 근데 이게 아니 지다 딜렌데 어느 제거야 돼 부두선을 내게 봐고 나시 아니 가는 기다 간다 가게지 심지 대다 탐지게 도나래 되는지 호주도 도나도 주위스 다 대형 아니 마대는데 코벤네는 동화 직다 가와이와이네 베나 아다 가서링에서 아니 지금 다 내지막고 야모시가는 안기네 간다지고 가와지바 이네한테 동해가 하시는 마대바 이다 콘던디가 탐지 아니 동안에 차네 되네 땐도 대와 산지지 고모 야 그거에 그거야 돼 아게 내게 이 뒤치도 아니 아 상황에서 뭐든지 지금 이해니 뭐든지 고는 주고요.
So then after making the request, then the next step is to generate a pure motivation for receiving the blessing. So in order to do that, then we should, each of us should reflect in the following manner. Then we should then consider all the sentient beings throughout the vast extent of space, how numberless they are, and then remember or remind ourselves that they are not our mothers in this life, but nevertheless each and every one of them has been our mother at one time or another in our countless previous lives. And generally the reason for thinking about them, identifying them as our mothers, is that generally speaking, then our parents are the 2 beings in our life for whom then we have the greatest obligation to recognize the help which we receive from them. Then especially among our parents, then our mother is the one who showed us especially great kindness and concern, and preserved us and raised us throughout this life. Then similarly, all sentient beings are the same in that they have done that for us at one time or another in the past. And though they are not our mother of this life, then still we can consider them our mothers for having been so. And then in addition, then throughout the 10 directions, those countless sentient beings are living in various different realms. Some of them are in the hells, and there are many different types of hells. There isn't enough time to describe all of the hells, but we know that that particular birth state is the worst and the one which has the most unbearable suffering. Then in all the other realms as well, even in the higher realms, even as human beings, all beings who are still bound in samsara, our condition is one that is nothing but subject to suffering. And therefore, reflecting on that and then recognizing that all sentient beings, the connection that we have to all sentient beings, then we should feel that that puts us in a position where we have the obligation to repay the kindness which has been shown us in the past by all sentient beings. And the highest way in which we can repay that kindness is to develop the ability ourselves, which we don't currently have, but to seek that ability ourselves, which will enable us to save all sentient beings, all mother sentient beings, by enabling them to become free from samsaric suffering and to achieve that highest and pure and unchanging happiness of Buddhahood. And that our ultimate goal is to become enlightened ourselves so that we can achieve that ability. So then with that motivation, then we wish to receive this holy long life blessing as something that will make it easier for us and allow us to be able to seek that goal in the best way we can.
고바니 지즈메기 아니 지즈 좀메기 다 지즈 조각이 이시 라나는 집에 샤에 강고 yin 삼다 지체 근데 라마양 밤에 버디다 보면 많이 뭐 제네 지즈 조각 이시 걸로 우수요 요 삼바체 당하나시 아니 내 제대로양 아니 지즈 좀 이시 걸로 군도 아니 지게 다신으로 가신 셰지 차니예 정신 이 자기자제 유접진 자기 그발하게 요한 넘버는 뭐 지견도 다르게 나서지 이시기 전 된다데 신샵도시 기록의 쇼부신 아니 지르다 야와사마메게 올리게마 요새 조조 초심바 디 아니 땡게 넘발에 아니 지기 제지 기베 라마 토색세 지가냐 지자지 토색당 근데 타고르다 이담 산지 장선 바와칸도 수조소마다 담지다 진기 풍부 대보신도 쇼예서 맞지 전에다 콘족이 아니 되게 제가려야 되네 건조선에 잡서적이 잠로당 되는 데 바샤바 야와나 지소 이라와스 다되게 이거도 당에 심지어 던지지도 산지 이거 또 버자 디지도 되는 준조선도 넘어서고 이제는 준조마도 이제 봐도 아니 야세게 좀 타다도 수신도 나면 이년배고는 전조선도 넘어지 송고 우리 전조나고 그랬어.
Then with that motivation, then the next part of the ritual is to take the bodhisattva vows. And in connection with that, then we should first begin a process of visualizing the place where we have gathered. And so you should listen to this description and then in your mind form that image and identify yourself with it. Then the way to think, way to reflect is in the following manner. So the first thing is to remove any idea that this room that we are in, this temple that we are in, is just an ordinary building. Instead, we should visualize it as the holy divine realm, which is in fact produced by the wisdom of then holy goddess Tara's own ultimate transcendent awareness. And that is its nature. That's the essence of the room. And then the form in which it is appearing is the same as the paradise of the Western Buddha, which is Sukhavati, Dawaching Shinkam. And if those of you who have read the sutra, you can recall the extraordinary way in which that paradise is described. So in essence, you should visualize that you are currently in that paradise. And then visualize also that the Lama who is giving you this blessing is not, his true nature is not that of an ordinary human being, but rather that he has transformed himself through his practice, through his own meditation, into Tara's form. So he is appearing before you. You should visualize, you should reflect that that he has transformed himself into Tara, the wish-granting wheel's form. Then also, there behind on the altar there is a dorma that is called the Long Life Dorma. Then on top of that dorma there is a miniature image of Tara. On top of that you can see like a
White umbrella.
like a umbrella, a parasol. Then that dorma itself also has been generated into the form of Tara, the wish-granting wheel. Then her nature, that dorma itself has been generated into her nature. Then both that dorma and then the lama should be visualized in the following form. Their bodies are brilliant white, like a full moon. Then they have one face and two arms. You can see here description of Tara more visible in this tanka here. Then the brilliant white, like a full moon, one face and two arms. The right hand, her right hand is in the boon-granting gesture. Then her left hand is in the gesture of giving protection and is holding in her fingers, she's holding the stem of a blue lotus, Utpala lotus flower. And then she is adorned with the jewel ornaments and then divine garments. And she has 7 eyes, then wisdom eye, and then on palms of her hands and the soles of her feet there are also eyes. She has 7 wisdom eyes. She's sitting in the cross-leg, Vajra cross-leg position, what we usually call lotus position. Then on top of her head is the victorious Amitayus, Tsepatme, the deity of infinite life. Then he is her lineage deity. So he visualized that he is sitting on top of her head. Then her body, from her body, the lama, when we say her here, we mean the lama, it emanates light rays in the 10 directions. And then those light rays invite all the lineage lamas of this particular tradition. And then those lamas from the most recent one to the first one are in a tall, like a column, one atop the other, seated above his head, her head. And then in addition to all the lineage lamas, then surrounding on all sides are a great assembly of holy beings that are like a huge cloud. And these include all the Tantric Buddhas and all the Sutrayana Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all the Tantric Daka Dakinis and Dharma protectors. And they have all been summoned here by the Lama's light rays, and they are present before you as to assist and be present for this ritual. Then that visualization, holding that visualization, then the next thing is for you to recite the words, the ritual words, which you recite 3 times, which are the words which describe the ritual for taking the Bodhisattva vows. Then they begin, the recitation for this receiving the vows begins with taking refuge in the 3 jewels, and then confessing your bad deeds and rejoicing at all the virtue which you and other beings have created in the past. Then having done that, then you develop the wish, the aspiration to achieve Buddhahood in order to be able to benefit all sentient beings. And as part of that aspiration, to deepen and strengthen that aspiration, then you are accepting the Bodhisattva vows, which are the vows of the Mahayana practice that are then make up the essence of the Mahayana morality, and essentially consist of the promise to train yourself in all the Bodhisattva activities until you achieve enlightenment yourself. Then the words that you will recite will be in Tibetan, but I'll read you the translation of them into English, and then you can hold that in your mind when you repeat the Tibetan. So it starts out, I take refuge in the three jewels. I confess all my misdeeds. I rejoice at the merit of the world and fix my mind upon a Buddha's enlightenment. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assemblage. I generate enlightenment mind in order to achieve my own and others' welfare. Having generated the Supreme Enlightenment mind, I dedicate myself to all sentient beings, and I shall practice the revered and excellent bodhisattva activities and attain Buddhahood in order to benefit the world. Then this will be recited 3 times.
Kunjo Sumla, Kyabje, Likwa Tamje, Sosorsha, Roegela, Jira, Sanje Changju, Yiji Sung, Sanje Chodang, Sojola, Changju Pardo, Kyabje, Ranshin Tune, Rabdrup Shir, Changju Semni, Kyebarji, Changju Choge, Semni Kigine, Simje Damje, Bagi Drundunir, Changju Jojo, Yon Jabarji, Rola Penjir, Sangye Drover Show, Rola Penjir, Sangye Drover Show, Rola Penjir, Sangye Drover Show.
So we, instead of reciting all 3 verses, then the last line was repeated twice to maybe make it a little more abbreviated, but the purpose is then you now received by repeating this the bodhisattva vows, and you generate them, and you will keep the bodhisattva practice.
나더니 정왕기 시주베체도 아니지 로마탈게 세죠. 나리 베제 라메게 왕 톱 셈바이는 알이는 지고서 리메바이는 탈게 먹고 전에 제랍 쉬어 잠지마도 고마를 라메게 왕도 지기 두고 왕도 소바 근데 톱 셈바이는 소소랑이 아니 탈이야도 마 어제는 좀 말에 깨고 그래.
Now the foundation for as the foundation for the long life consecration itself, then there's a visualization which disciples must carry out, in which they generate themselves in the form of the deity itself. That is, you will generate yourself in the form of white Dara. However, this is really only appropriate if you are someone who has already received a highest yoga tantra initiation. Then that type of individual then is already practicing deity yoga, so it's appropriate to do that kind of visualization. And the visualization will be described. If you are someone who has not received that type of Anuttara Yoga Tantra initiation, then not necessary or even proper for you to do that kind of deity yoga visualization, but then you should instead of the visualization then participate and listen to all the blessings which are described, and then imagine yourself receiving them as they are described.
Om Bezara Meda Ogunjale Omoso Bawajida Savanda Maso Bawajido Domba Nido Lama Rene Domba Nido Kuro Tombe Lebede de Lama Nama Rene Jeduma Ishin Korono Kono Agundo Karabo Dungi Dawada Kashindo Bojuje Jimame Bada Tashi Yochowa Shejik Shani Je Sumda Demba Nazo Churu Lebe Nazuji Chaye Shojinje Chayazishi Yu Ubala Garbi Yuwa Tepsinji Togara Sumi Namanyi Tegar Tusumji Sanje Tsebe Dar Zawa Zila Zemo Sumdo Yube Wikimedo Kachewa Ye Jebu Yu Kambi Nambari Yoba Uja Dune Rebe Sirbe Dabarji Lembo Rendo Java Nobo Yeje Remboji Ye Nasoji Yemba Tara Nasoji Toyoda Tara Mabe Shendamji Chashibji Te Namla Jen Rejede Ishi Jen Duyongawa Dawe Jingora Lao Changbora Den Jingi Shabu Doji Jiroge Shobodi Jiwa Omo Garbo Jamar Amabo Togara Dawe Jingorji Dendo Tami Kabona Hongwando Zambara Yoro.
Then the visualization is as follows. Then the Lama blesses you and sprinkles you with holy water, and then visualize that you dissolve into emptiness. And as he does that, then you also should visualize yourself as dissolving into emptiness. Then from that emptiness, then you reappear, where you were, then you now appear in a divine form, in which you are seated upon a lotus and a moon cushion. And you are appearing in the form of the Venerable Tara wish-granting wheel. Then your body is as white as an autumn moon, and as pure and luminous as an immaculate moonstone gem. Then you have one face, 2 arms, 3 eyes. You should be visualizing this for yourself if you have taken the Tantra initiation. Then you have the youthful beauty of a 16-year-old woman. Your right hand is held in the gesture of granting a boon. Then the thumb and ring finger of your left hand, you are holding the stem of a white upala flower at your heart. And then as a symbol that represents the Buddha's 3 times, the upper part of the stem of that flower separates into 3 branches. And one of them, on the tip of one of the branches is a fully bloomed flower. That's in the center of the Buddha's fruit of the upala flower, fruit of the upala flower. Finished blooming becomes the fruit. On the right side, and the upala bud is on the tip of the left hand. In your dark blue hair, long dark blue hair tied up in the top knot. At the back of your head, you have the long tresses. And then your breasts are in water. And you are adorned with jewel ornaments, and you are wearing multicolored upper garments and red skirts. The palms of your hands, the feet are each marked with an eye. Those regions then each possess the 7 eyes of concentric awareness. You are sitting on a moon cushion in a upright body, and your legs are in the Vajra cross-legged position. Inside your forehead there is a white wingtip. Inside your throat there is a foxtail, and inside your heart there is the white thumb which is marked with a cocoon. And that central syllable, the thumb syllable,
Lama Jesu ma yishin kola sa toga ne yosar shu, Inji Jesu ma yishin kola toga ne kaya, toga na koga tungi kola, eye rita seba ne kaya, toge shiye na chagi koma ne, yosar chagyo da mo kazo na kyaba sa, kera na na nyushin tsewa chebe, cheda shinje, lu, tse ma mo ye mo na soma, yonge ju mo me ma ye nam ye ani, tse soba sunum, soba, choshin, kuyi, kirwa na, yarwa na, so kalengi chagze ne ma shindu, 우리의 지면 세계 주제 강의 공부하다 잡아다 호세 주제 강의 넘어로 꼭 만남 아니 링게 내놓으시면 제가 뭐 이식으로 도에 세계 콜로나 아니 콜로나 꾸이 차는 같은 그다음에 주지 교육가로 한 말을 다시 보도록 막 결하는 게 아니 지요 3일 보관이 쉬고 위에는 책이 아니 매일 이해가 내를 세계 관계자 세 야신 야마던 소리 지원하는 제 누르다 또 좋은 일이 뭐래서
So now we will begin the actual consecration ritual, long life consecration ritual. Then the ritual has 4 parts to it. The first one is based on the long life torma, which is on the altar behind, and you should take note of it, which is appearing in White Tara's form. And this part of the ritual is related to that Dharma. Then the second part is
blessing based on the nectar, the liquid nectar. Third part is based on the medicine pills. And the fourth part is a special blessing to increase your lifespan. So those are the four main parts of the initiation. Then now the first part, which is the section in which the consecration blessing is conferred through the long life torma. Then that also has several parts to it. It has 3 parts to it. First part is drawing back those parts of your life force. We all have a life force, and that can be damaged and can have its force be as if it's scattered, as if it's been dispersed. So the visualization to receive that blessing should be done as follows. Then you should do this visualization and perform this visualization. So then the visualization is that you'd form the very intense devotion and reverence towards the Lama, who is inseparable from Buddha Tara. And then because of the intensity of your faith and devotion and reverence, then Tara, the wish-granting wheel, then causes him to emanate light rays from his heart. Then in the Lama's heart. Then those light rays that he emanates strike the heart of the Tara, the wish-granting wheel, who has been generated in front. And that means the form of Tara which is in the Torma, long life Torma. Then those light rays prompt her, urge her to take some action. Then what the action that she takes is, then she emanates hook-like light rays from the syllable in her heart. I'm sorry, not the syllable of her heart. On top of her head, the lineage lord Amitayus, in his heart, there is a Shri syllable. Then he emanates hook-like light rays from his heart. And then also, he holds in his hands, he holds long life pitcher. And then that long life pitcher also emanates light rays. Those light rays fill the 3 realms throughout the form realm, formless realm, and desire realm. Then those light rays, which have hooks on their tips, they act like a magnet which has the ability to draw iron filings, pull back iron filings. Then those iron filings are the metaphor for your life force. And those life forces, those light rays draw back those elements of your damaged life force, and they are appearing in the form of pitchers, long life pitchers filled with the nectar of immortality. Then also skull cups, which are filled with long life nectar. And also Buddhist monks' alms bowl, also filled with holy blessing. And in addition, then all the merit, power of merit which exists, and all the fragments of your life force that have been damaged by harmful spirits, such as the Lord of Death and other demons and female, like goblins and harmful spirits. Then all of these qualities are drawn back, and they dissolve into in Tara, the wish-granting jewel, who is in the long life Dharma. In her heart there is a wheel. That wheel is called life force wheel. And then also those blessings dissolve into the rest of her body. Having done so, then she emits an immeasurably great stream of white nectar. That white nectar has a little bit reddish tinge to it. Then it flows out from her heart and from all the rest of her body as well. And then that blessing, that stream of blessing, comes through the top of your head, called the Brahma aperture. And then that fills your body inside completely. And that nectar drives away all the effects of your former bad deeds and your mental obscurations and your susceptibility to illnesses and harmful spirits and those things which are obstacles to your life force. And then in doing so, then it restores all those dispersed fragments of your life force that have become scattered, and heals whatever damage that life force may have undergone, and causes you to gain then the spiritual blessing of a life force that is no longer subject to death. Then the visualization will be described to you. Then you remember that visualization, and when the Lama recites the mantra, then you should visualize that you are receiving the blessing which is described in the visualization. Then the visualization is as follows. Then this visualization is to restore damaged life force. The previous one was then dispersed or scattered life force. Then this is one which has been damaged or weakened. So visualize again that immeasurably great number of hook-like light rays emanate from the pitcher that Buddha Amitayus, who is seated on the crown of the Venerable Tara, that has been generated in the long life Torma. Then he is holding, Amitayus is holding in his hand this pitcher. Visualize that light rays emanate from that pitcher, and they draw back the vital essence of all the 5 major elements. Then in addition to the 4 elements, then also includes the space element. Then the vital essence of all of those 5 elements is what restores the damaged life force. So, and the visualization has these 5 qualities. Then those light rays draw back the vital essence and potency of the earth element in the form of light rays and nectar that have the yellow color of liquid gold. This is for earth. All the vital essence of the water element in the form of light rays and nectar have white color of milk. All the vital essence of the fire element in the form of light rays and nectars that have a warm quality to them and are the color of vermilion, red color of vermilion. The vital essence of the wind element is drawn back in the form of light rays and nectars that have the green color of emeralds. The vital essence of the space element is the form of light rays and nectars that have the blue color of azurite. And all the vital essence of the space element, now that's repeated. These dissolve into the life force wheel in the heart of Venerable Tara, in the long life Torma, and also the rest of her body. Then from her and from that wheel, stream of nectar of immortality flows down and enters you through the crown of your head, filling the inside of your body. This nectar eliminates all your bad deeds, mental obscurations, and all the obstacles to your life force. Those are the obstacles. Then it restores the vital essence of your own 5 elements and heals whatever damage your life force may have undergone. It causes your body to take on an excellent luster and radiance, and causes you to gain the spiritual attainment of a life force that is no longer subject to death. Then now, third visualization is physical strength in your body and merit, then which you has deteriorated and diminished. Then to restore that diminished physical strength, and also to restore past merit that you have lost. Then this blessing, the visualization, main visualization structure is the same, but then there are unique aspects of it that pertain to this particular blessing. So if you listen carefully, then you can catch that meaning. So you visualize that again, the same way as before, that limitless numbers of hook-like light rays emanate from the long life picture that Amitayu's lineage lord of Venerable Tara is holding in his hands. Then these light rays draw back without any resistance. It has complete power to draw back all the good fortune, all the prosperity, all the virtuous qualities, all the auspiciousness that exists throughout the world. And that includes the following things: the prosperity and might of such powerful gods as Brahma and Indra, the luster and radiance of the deities of the sun, the moon, and the stars, the blessings of all the lamas and great spiritual teachers, the experiential attainments of the realized yogis, the wisdom of great scholars and pandits, the virtue and authority of monarchs, of universal monarchs, kings, and great ministers, also powerful and wealthy individuals. Also the transcendent awareness that bestows a lifespan which is no longer subject to death upon those who have attained the supernatural power of immortality. And also the blessings of the mantras and forms of one-pointed concentration that have the power to turn back death. Then all of these kinds of blessings are appearing in the form of the 8 auspicious signs, the 8 auspicious substances, the 7 precious symbols of royal authority, as well as light rays and nectars. And again, the rest of the visualization is the same. They dissolve into the life force wheel in the heart of Venerable Tara that has been generated in front, and then a stream of nectar of immortality flows out from her, enters you through the crown of your head, completely filling the inside of your body. This nectar eliminates your bad deeds, mental obscurations, and all the obstacles to your life force. And in addition, it restores all your diminished physical strength and whatever merit you may previously had that you've lost. It causes you to attain all the spiritual qualities that were described in those being drawn back with those light rays. Then reflect to yourself as you receive that blessing: now I have achieved the spiritual attainment of a life force that is no longer subject to death. Then the next blessing is to restore your damaged vows and pledges, tantric vows and bodhisattva vows and pledges, and to increase your lifespan, to extend your lifespan by receiving the blessing, the Janang blessing of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. Then here, this time the visualizations generally is similar, but there are some special differences. So as you listen to the description, then do the visualization in your mind and reflect that you receive it when the Lama is reciting the mantra. So visualize that the intensity of your devotion and reverence towards the Lama causes him to emanate light rays from his heart that strike the heart of Venerable Tara wish-granting wheel, who has been generated in front, and they prompt her to take action. Then light rays emanate, this time not from Amitayus, but from the thumb syllable in her, Tara's own heart. Then those light rays reach all the lamas, all in the 10 directions, the lamas, the tutelary deities, tantric deities, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, then the Daka Dakinis and Dharma protectors of all the 10 directions. And in particular, they reach the venerable goddess White Tara herself, called the wish-granting wheel, as well as the victorious Buddha Amitayus, infinite life. The name Amitayus literally means infinite life, as well as all the lineage lamas for this long life instruction lineage. And those beings reside in such divine realms as the Buddha paradise Sukhavati. Then those light rays which Tara emanated from the seed syllable in her heart invites their blessing, the blessings of all these beings, the Buddhas and the Lamas generally, and especially the ones associated with this lineage, their blessings of body, speech, and mind, in the form of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That is, you visualize that countless forms of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas' physical bodies, as well as their speech blessing in the form of mantras and the syllables of the alphabet, all the vowels and consonants, as well as the instruments, unique instruments, which the deities carry as symbols of their unique characteristics, and their own seed syllables, which are seeds of mind, seeds of their ultimate mind, along with the nectar of immortality, which is appearing in white, red, and blue light rays. All of these blessings that are drawn back by Tara, generated in front of you, dissolve into her forehead, or her throat, and her heart. As a result of that, then white, red, and blue streams of nectar nectar of immortality flow from her and dissolve directly into your forehead, into your throat and your heart, and in so doing completely fill the inside of your body. Then this blessing, the nectar in this blessing eliminates your bad deeds, your mental obscurations, and especially your broken vows and pledges that you accumulated through improper body, speech, and mind activity. Not only this life, but all the lives that you've had in the past, in samsara, which has no beginning. Deeds in which you killed other beings and committed other kinds of misdeeds. And in having removed those obstacles, then you also receive Tara's blessings of body, speech, and mind. As you do so, then reflect to yourself, through my 3 doors, then my 3 doors means my body, speech, and mind, have now taken on the nature of the 3 Vajras. The 3 Vajras means the perfect body of the deity Tara, the perfect speech of deity Tara, the perfect mind of deity Tara. My own body, speech, and mind have taken on that same nature. Because of that, now I have received the spiritual attainment of a life force which is no longer subject to death. Now, then this is the last part of the first section, which is the long life blessing based on the torma, the taras, the torma which is generated in front. Then this blessing is called dissolving the divine life force, the deity's life, pure life force, into you. Then the visualization is the following. Then visualize and reflect that the Lama, appearing in Tara's form, who has manifested himself as Venerable Tara, then he, the Lama, this time, generates light rays from his heart. And those light rays invite Venerable Tara, the wish-granting wheel, who has been generated in front. Then that Tara is surrounded by many Buddhas, countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And that assembly of deities who are led by Tara herself, then they come and become situated above you in the space, in the sky, just above the crown of your head. Then after they gathered there, then the Lama will say to you that he is going to make a supplication request to them, that he is going to ask on your behalf that they bestow a blessing on you in the form of immeasurably great stream of the nectar of immortality. And when he does that, then that nectar will flow in a great stream from all the root and lineage lamas, as well as from Tara herself, which will enter you through the Brahma aperture at the crown of your head, and will completely fill the inside of your body. then this blessing will cause all the bad deeds, mental obscurations that you have accumulated since beginning of time, as well as your susceptibility to illness and harmful spirits, and all the obstacles to your life force. All of these bad qualities will then emerge from your body through all the orifices, or through your nose, through your ears, through the pores of your skin and the openings, the lower part of your body. All those obstacles will emerge in a dark colored substance, which is like smoke or coal colored liquid. And having done so, your body will be left clean and pure. And your body will then have the form which resembles a mass of crystal, pure crystal. Because of that, your lifespan, your merit, and all your virtue, the virtuous qualities which come from the scriptural form of the Dharma, as well as the form of Dharma that is gained through practice. All of those holy qualities will be made to increase and develop greatly. Then having received that blessing, then the Lama will recite 4 syllables, Za, Hum, Bam, Ho. And when he does so, then visualize that at that moment, all the root and lineage lamas that are gathered above you and are there present with Tara, all of them, as well as all the peaceful and wrathful deities, they will dissolve into the single figure of Tara herself. Then a duplicate form of Tara, who is situated there, will separate from her. And that duplicate will then dissolve into nectar, that nectar being the nectar of immortality. And that nectar will dissolve into you through the crown of your head, causing your body, speech, and mind to become one with the body, speech, and mind of Venerable Tara, the wish-granting wheel, meaning your body, speech, and mind will become identical to hers. And when you receive that blessing, then reflect to yourself, I have attained all the common and supreme spiritual attainments. Supreme spiritual attainment is Buddhahood itself, including the supernatural power of a life force that is no longer subject to death. So then in the tradition is when this blessing is being conferred, then you're touched on the crown of your head with the Tara Storma, and then that strengthens the blessing. So that will be done later, but you visualize that it's being done. And then at that time, then the Lama will also invoke the blessings of all the lineage lamas by name, that they should bless you. This is a very holy part of the ritual. So.
디 세돌라데 고와데소 니바세 두질라데 고르와디 시 두질남나 장도 말씀 제가 담세 캐버지 디니 게라는 셔도서 위에 나와던지 자주 예심기 두세가 혼자론데데 네번이야 받는 소리 류심 대회 격세에 발제던데 좀디 치민세에 된다 도저님베 메바즈
So that concludes the first part of the consecration, which is conferred through the Dharma. Then the second main part is given on the basis of the holy nectar, long life nectar. Then this nectar you will be given to taste, to drink, to take through your mouth, swallow, and receive blessing. Then this nectar consists of the 5 kinds of holy nectar, which have been then purified and then transformed into divine substance and made potent by the Lama through his preliminary practice, and so it becomes such a holy substance. So when you taste this through your mouth, then you should visualize that your entire body is filled with this holy nectar, which has the essence of divine bodhicitta mind. Then that holy nectar then has the power to restore all the potency to in your body. You have a system of channels for wind to travel. Then the wind itself can be damaged, and then there are substances which travel through those channels. And all of those they are restored. Then because of that, then you should visualize that your body, you feel physical bliss filling your body, and that physical bliss causes your mind also to be filled with rapture and great bliss. Then because of that, then that experience causes you to be liberated from all the obstacles to your lifespan. And then as a result of that, then you achieve the holy like spiritual power to live forever. You visualize yourself as achieving the ability to be immortal. Make in your mind that thought you should have as you taste it, and then that's the main visualization. Okay, so at this point you visualize that you received it. Later, then it will be given to you
at the same time also.
Otherwise, if we wait till it's passed around, it will take too much time. Then
you see, you see that the one girl was song. Then you must tell it in the one girl. May she just as she did data. Nearly she just as she knew what a man she just as she quoted the truth of it. She may see Julian is over the Icaron and Sola, and nearly she just as she did Johnson. Louis only so then get you may be seeing the she may see
and the third consecration is on the basis of the medicinal pills, which are like an elixir, holy elixir. Then these pills contain medicine, 404 main kinds of medicine, which contain then all the substance, all the nutrition, all the vital substance which is ordinary as well as pure. And therefore it is like an elixir of vitality. Then you will, right at this point, visualize that you are receiving it and eating it. Later it will be passed out. And then you should visualize that as you take it and eat it, it has the benefit to purify and remove all the 404 types of grave illnesses. And then because of that, then the life force, which is what enables you to keep your body healthy and live for a long time, then that life force has been strengthened and developed. And as a result, then you have become liberated from the risk of experiencing an untimely death. And then again, because of that, you receive the spiritual blessing which grants immortality.
아니 세배와 기체도 되니 덴색이 시버지에 보내 되니 세배와 제발로 결혼을 결혼을 기준이 되게 나가네 이게 이 신이 콜로라 아니 최디 기별나만 남나 셴 상제 장선 바와가지고 최종 소마 하다 미인생이 받는 게 권내 쇼바는 결혼을 아니 세배의 시도 로면다 대식이 매도게 차람에 그러면 잡아니 로연이 시버져도 님들
Then the fourth and last part of the initiation blessing is then an invocation of the powers of truth, the recitation of auspicious words that carry the power of truth, and their purpose as they are invoked are to have the ability to expand and extend your lifespan. So for this, while this blessing is being given, you should visualize that in the sky above you, then the mother of the Buddhas, Tara, who is appearing in the form of the wish-granting wheel, then she is appearing in the sky above you, and she is accompanied by all the lineage lamas of this tradition, as well as all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and tantric deities, Dakadakinis and Dharma protectors. Then as well as then all those practitioners, all those spiritual practitioners who have achieved the actual ability to extend their lifespan through this practice. Then all of them are gathered in a great assemblage above you, and then when these words are being recited by the Lama, together with him, then all of this assembly of beings will then shower down a rain of flowers, and then the celestial music will be played, and then beautiful music and songs, rather beautiful songs will be sung. You can visualize yourself hearing these things to accompany the words of auspiciousness that are being recited. So then the Lama will do the recitation, and you visualize that all these other deities participate in that.
수림도 예산예야나와 미승의 수림도도네 인제진 예존일 저번에 수림도 예산예나와 예산예나와 세배도 예산예야나와 미승의 세배도 인제진 예존일 저번에 세배도 예산예나와 세배도 예배워서 수림도 예산예야나와 미승의 수림도 인제진 예존일 저번에 수림도 예산예나와 수림도 삼년도 예산예야나와 미세계 3년도 인지진 예존일 주고는 3년도 예산예나와 3년도 예산예나와 시라도 예산예나와 미세계 시라도 인지진 예존일 주고는 시라도 예산예나와 시라도 예산예나와 아니 인지게 되네 시라도 되네 정말 이신적으로 거는 상황상 목표에서 세번인데 되네 가도 시험도 된다. 한내 속에 제선 정말 이신적으로 되네 이름도 송신 지당 제작이다. 저는 제작이 당시도 뭐 맞추시는 송원님 병원에 안에 이제도 나오고요.
So now the blessing has been concluded. So you should reflect for a moment with great joy that you have had the opportunity to receive this blessing, and then you should understand that the Master is instructing you that because of receiving this blessing, then from now on you should agree to revere the Buddha Tara, named the wish-granting wheel, the white Tara, who is the source of this blessing. Revere her as a tutelary deity to whom you will pray and you will hold as your deity. Then you also will agree and make your best effort to keep all of the forms of morality, all the vows, as much as possible. And then in connection with that, to voice your willingness to do so, then you should repeat the following two lines which mean, as you, the Master, have said to me, have advised me, I will do all of those things.
소외 지들 가서 나든지 나기 소외 지들 가져와 나든지 나기 소외 지들 가져와 나든지 나기 어디 제대 어디 강로마지 변디 제대 알아봐서 내놓은 시제요 가서는 마음도 되네 제주 많이 재미있어 야와 탐지기 시라기 방송 지도되고 인도산에 아니 지금 소소라니 그 다음에 주주별로 저는 주주도 넘지기 시럽도 배하는 하정 편도신 뭐 인도산에 지를 텐데 그거보다 탐지 라고도야지 딱 공충으로 내려요. 근데 대결에서 내리게 전에 아니 지금 전배 향기 아니라 소가 알아봐서 이 공원에 안에 강로만데 살수 산타 사실은 지금 주진이 요새 사실 강로막에 강글로 주시는 대신에 양이지 너는 지금 캡션을 빼지 나가지고.
So then as part of today's Dharma activities, then also Lama will give a oral transmission for the mantra of Manjushri, and also the oral transmission for a prayer in praise of Manjushri, very holy prayer. So the main purpose is that we all need to develop our wisdom. Wisdom is the most important spiritual quality to be able to achieve the benefits of Dharma and bring about our own spiritual development. So he will recite and we repeat after him. And then also, especially, this is meant for younger students, younger people who are here. There are few, that are still studying, and then this will hopefully help them in their future study.
관계 로드 dimye tinjal yidar namda rapsawe jinye dengwe jiji sikshir nige tuga lebamzi kanda sibi sonra mari mide dunga kisebe tozo kola kuzo taje yela chukchu yande sun chudar checho nyumo nilong leji chacho 전세지 말이 미세 동안이고 진이 죄세 자제는 되네 달지 사주 달지 윤대는서 개세 비고 주다 준이 겐테 달레 미세 전배양라디 오마 아라바자 나디 세덴케기 케라베스기 달레티무 민바랍센 카탄텐주 슈루토바이 로제포베 나와세도소
당주기 다다되게 장애대 하장 계시문에 소자랑이 이내 계시라도 신경문데 예배이네 그러서는 야 묘의 제로에 내가 믿어서 어디나 바보도 쉬어박하는 감정도 대인들자네 소소랑이 기타 가가 취규 가르치는 것이 지나 되면 그러나도 되게 되다 취규 넘어 잘해야 돼. 너는 나는 이제 배지 나를 오긴데 배기 아니 다 진주도 차대고 인도자네 아니 지를 때니 안에 개체주로 어디 저는 가서 저기 내버리지 이나다 저어디 전조남기를 벗어다 남좀 개도 먹고요 이내 되게 되는 저기 야는 지금 로전 진노토가 있는 편도시다 요레스 지나다가 먼저 미리기 찬도스 음주로 나가고 제나 시아조가 미리기 지금 상황하다 당연한 시기 총화사에다 저도 얘는 방법다 지금 뭐라 시기 차리셔 아니 아직 노조부터 안 미쳐 진행이 나라 담배 주기라면 인도산에 안에 주 사바지 인도 되게 돌아요. 지금 요새는 이 인도산에 나디나네 나다 시아조도 좀 이가 여기로 요새에 가는다냐 망주디 가제도 되게 장애 계신 거래스.
So then that's the main agenda that we had for today. But Lama would like to say a few additional words. His English is quite good, actually, and I'm sure it would mean much more coming from him. Actually, he
okay, I'll try.
Please, I think they will appreciate it more. Good.
So I would say it's very important to learn what we are going to be practice. As we say in most of the Asian people, we have more kind of say blind faith, without knowing exactly what is the meaning of what we're doing. It's like reciting mantra. We can do that some mantra recited by even the parrots or some birds. They can what do you call it?
Yeah, they can mimic the sound.
Some of them. So anyway, it's very important to learn what we are doing. What do we do? Even we say something Om Mani Padme Hum. This is mainly. I think most of Buddhist people, they recite this mantra. And it's very difficult at the same time. At least we can do, we can learn something about what is the essence of these mantras. So I would suggest everyone should put more, effort to learn, what we are doing, Otherwise, you won't really satisfy what you're doing. You know what it is. So it's very important, especially the younger generation, to learn more about Buddhism. As we, the Buddhists and the follower of the Buddhism, I would like, for example, Mr. Art, he's been learning such a, that even he is completely, we can see he's a white person. So he's not Tibetan, he's no Asian at all, but he has been practicing so many years, and he is at the same time, he's also not a monk, but it's not necessarily to be a master, master not necessarily become a monk. So even the lay Buddhist master can benefit so many, things, so many people. So I would say we should spend at least few minutes every day. Even you live in such a very busy world in America, and so, but you at least in the morning, or I think best time is the morning, when you have some time, not only the offering things, but you should, we do meditate, or we should kind of concentrate. We should what called
to reflect and
yeah.
develop some spiritual attitude.
So otherwise, but many of us, like even monks and myself, since so many years, but putting into practice is not easy. So especially nowadays, everybody thinks that practice means something, you're chanting something, reciting some mantra. But practice is when you have to, when we have to face some problem. At that time, you have to think about the practice.
Dharma is, we have to use the time when there's no danger to develop our power of our mind, so that when some difficult time comes, then we can use it, we can apply it. Then that is really very important, to be able to develop that kind of quality.
Yeah, so just before I entered this in the hall, I met a young girl, she was Elena. She said she was, Elena? Ilona. She said she was reading London, the 73 pages. Oh, really, it was wonderful that she could learn it, started to learn something. Many of them, even she was learning from Russian. She said she read in Russian. So this, you're doing two good things. Because as a Russian, originally, you can read Russian. Secondly, as a Buddhist, you can learn London through your own, this is so wonderful. So I would suggest at least some younger generation try to be more effort to learn Buddhism, what we were talking, and also for the seniors. I don't want to say that you're too late, because there is never late. So it's very important and very, very helpful, especially as I'm mentioned, like Geshe Dawa. He is here, like 80 years old. He's alone here, and the two of them, they just, they don't have any, they don't worry too much. They are really always happy. Even they're doing services for you and all this makes a difference. If you practicing the Dharma, when there are some troubles or some problems, then you can take it easily. If you don't know about Dharma, then even a little problem you think is a really big problem. So even I would, I can see, so many times when you travel in the West, and somebody like Emma, when I made some mistake to cross the road, somebody, just no passion, kind of, this kind of thing. There's a little problem. So when you have this kind of problem, you just take it easy. Think if there is something worthwhile to worry or to get angry. Otherwise, you just forget it after a few minutes. We all not enlightened yet. So there are a lot of mistakes we do. So from the mistake, we learn so many things. So at the last, I would say, thank you for listening to me on all this. And also the Geshe will going to introduce a little bit of Buddhism. And also same time, I would say like Geshe Lhunpo, he is here, next door here. So if you have some time, go to listen here whenever he has some classes. So because I remember that when I was here in Master Kyabje Rinpoche once, asking him to teach. So even the point is, so you were translating.
Yes.
So he is now give up all his work and now he's here to teach. So when there is some teaching, even he is giving his own, English like myself, some broken English, whatever, we can learn, everyone. So it's good to learn he or someone, whoever, like even the art, if we have time. If you have got time, try to go and learn something. So these things we can take some, when you go to next life, you can take some essence of Dharma. But the only thing, the rest of our whatever we have possession, something we have to live. Even our body has to live. So these things are very, very unique and very important. So I would like to say again, if there's any kind of something, some words which you think is important to keep into practice.
Thank you for saying that.
And then the jail, and then the Jewish was you. The jail, and you know, the Krishna.
So Rinpoche has to recite some.
That's I can do it. After the giving all those things.
So to allow everyone to have some of the blessed substances going to be passed around. Okay, so if people would like to come one by one, it's maybe easier than you can. Then okay, so there still will be another talk given after this. So
yeah,
please.
Second session.
Yes. So please.
This is not going to be some introduction on Buddhism.
Yeah, it's going to give a general talk after this. So after this is received, then.
Do I do this now?
You can, yeah, you can.
Nice to meet you. Oh, really? Good. Yeah. If you it takes after about 6 months you can read pretty well. Should be able to. No, I came here. I learned here in one of the temples. I came here more than 40 years ago. My family was in Pennsylvania.
You should transfer information. Yeah.
You've been here before? Come once before.
이 보고 미팅 보지 저 뭐지